What's up, everybody? Especially to you, my brother Junior. How's it? This is Zaldi. Welcome back to Talking Story About Smoking, Session 12 Reformation, Reforming through Reframing. Last session was about nicotine. Automatically, your cigarettes, dip, pipe, vape, whatever is starting to look like unnatural chemical stuff you're shoving in your system. Like you've been sitting in fumes from the Chernobyl nuclear factory runoff spillage that's supposed to be handled with the anti-radioactive chemical suits. Bleh. This session, of all the sessions, is probably the most versatile and useful section that will help you understand why you do what you do and how you can use it for other stuff like in your life. Going to help you understand, dissect, and realign, such as this nicotine stuff, substance stuff, or whatever stuff, or like fear of water, fear of crowds. You know, you and I, we used to grow up with plenty family, so we was around crowds. And some people they get issues with crowds, but really you and I had issues too. Remember when mom and dad used to bring over some people, some family or guests that we never know, we used to just hide in our rooms. So of course we felt anxious, like the people who still having to deal with that. But this is what's gonna this thing gonna help them out, help you out too, even controlling anger. Planning for covering this session. So, intayon, let's go. While I go through these stories and examples of the stories, whether it be Car's stories or my stories, pay attention. You need your story that you have to relate to. You need to be drawing up the equal and maybe even more applicable story that pertains to the material we're covering. You need to clearly visualize, hear, and feel the experience of your story. When you do that, your story is more powerful and more big than my story and Uncle Car's story put together. It behooves you. You know what behoove mean? Look 'em up. Just like everything else I'm telling you. Behoove means to remove the hoof. Behoove. And the other meaning is for your responsibility or befitting to. Like it behooves you to wipe your ass good. So it behooves you to take some time to reflect on your story after listening to each session, because you open the unlimited space and experience after I help walk you through the door using my story. So we got to go over two major items of Reformation. Number one is internal representation. Internal representation started before we were even born. Some of these representations were taught to us by our parents. For instance, when mom used to tell us to not whistle at night because the Mau Mau going to hear us and come after us. So, whistling at night was a fear for us because mom had an internal representation of that stupid superstition that she gifted to us. Here are some other examples of other internal representations. I remember getting my eyebrows split open on the 45-degree angle brick when I slipped and landed on my eyebrow right on that corner, and blood was gushing out. Then I had to get stitches. That was on Friday the 13th. I remember Friday the 13th to be my bad luck day, and every year before that. That day though, this one was monumental. I thought about it and realized that it was total BS. I said, from this day forward, are going to expect good luck. Which brings me to the second item, reframing. Now that Friday the 13th is what I called my good luck day. I just made that decision. Then that day turned out to be really good because Lani said she thought I was so brave in getting those stitches and gave me a kiss. Then, after that, I continued to tell people Friday the 13th is my good luck day. Really, it wasn't a good luck day or a bad luck day. It was a day that I didn't have to expect bad luck or good luck. I am blessed to have yet another day. Every day is a blessed day, to include getting that providential split on that eyebrow. As I mentioned, some other internal representations and reframing or reframations. Stop. Experience your experience and say it out loud so you can see it. Hear yourself and feel the feelings of your story and step into that moment. Then come back and play this for the next example. So here's another door and a good example. I remember driving through the snow and saw red and blue flashing lights. I immediately felt for my wallet to make sure I have my license and started fumbling through my glove compartment for the envelope, making sure that envelope with that safety check, the insurance and registration, you know that envelope, just to see that it wasn't the cops. It was a snowplow with red and blue lights. I got anxious too. It was making me nuts. Or when I went to Australia, so I hope you can pause them. Now you can get back to this one. Okay? I hope you have one good one in your story. But here we go. I went to Australia and saw this one hot Australian announcer. And she's telling us the do's and don'ts and giving us the house rules. But she told us to lightly butter our bread with Vegemite. I said to myself that I'm going to show her how much I love Vegemite and I would spread one thick layer to impress her. And boom, I thought someone messed with my Vegemite packet and scraped the bottom of burnt goop and put them in my packet. Oh wait, I wasn't ready for that one. Here's another one. Okay, oh yeah, pause. Think of yours. Okay, welcome back. Another one was when I remember going to the one high school party and saw this good-looking Filipino chick and was talking to her and missed getting her number because I had to leave. I was in a rush just to see her again at a family Filipino party. Yeah, it was awkward when our eyes met. I don't think we was related, but still, the reframing was already reframed. Here's the last one. Okay, one more. Remember when I got in trouble for drawing on the wall and tried to frame you to make it look like was your handwriting? I know, I was dirty, yeah. But that day, Dad yelled and said, "Who did this?" I said, "I don't know, but that looks like Junior wrote that." Then you said, "Yeah, kind of look like mine, but I don't write like that anymore." Oh, Dad went straight to the monster Chinese vase and pulled out the bamboo back scratcher and said, "Okay, nobody did it? Line them up." Yup, that back scratcher was not fun. We all got the dirty lickings. That thing felt like the side of a tennis racket that was swift, solid, and penetrable through the muscle with deep tissue bone bending strength. You know, that back scratcher came from where Dad used to work when he was on bartender in Waikiki. You know what that was used for? For one drink. It was called Tropical itch. Each drink came out with that little punisher. The funny thing is, the people who got that drink came to the show in Waikiki to have a good time. That drink got them buzzing, and imagine this, the wife telling the husband, "Honey, I like this tropical itch. This back scratcher can come in handy tonight." And from that point on, all she has to do to get her husband all riled up is to grab that back scratcher and smack it with her hand and say, "I would like to order another tropical itch." As you can see, the same back scratcher has two totally different internal representations. However, they both can be reframed and be something different. And reframing instantaneously, just like that Friday the 13th. How and where can you apply what you just learned in the last 5 minutes? That's right, Junior. Unlimited. Do you realize what kind of ride we're about to go through in the next couple sessions? This is foundational stuff to use as tools for the reformations of what is already happening. As much as I would love to run through more examples, I leave it to you to immerse yourself in your stories, your internal representations, your reframings. Well, we have more juicy stuff to cover, but this concludes session 12, Reframation, reforming through reframing. Now, I don't recommend everything these guys say or condone everything they talk about, but I have to mention Tony Robbins and his book Unlimited, and Richard Bandler and his book Frogs into Princes, which go over in detail the successes and the clinical studies and all that factual stuff you can read about reframing. And before I segue out of this session, I want to do a quick azimuth check and repeat those two questions again from the last session regarding nickel cane. Number 1, why am I doing it? And number 2, do I really need to? Yeah. As you smoking right now or vaping, ask yourself those questions again. Why am I doing it? Do I really need to? The next one is session 13. Mean the meaning. We're peeling away the outer skin of this onion and about to get close to the core. Yowza! So with that, my brother Junior, ahui ho, Keren.